Today I have 5 great level trading strategies for you that will help you trade support and resistance, supply and demand, and any other level concept in a much better, much more effective way. Let's get into this and let's start with a failed breakout. A lot of traders have problems trading breakouts and they don't understand how to identify a failed breakout and how to participate and anticipate them. So what we see here is that the market is in a downward trending phase. The market has been moving lower, and then we are seeing here a horizontal support area where the downtrend has stopped for an extended period of time. It's very important to understand that the longer a sideways phase goes on in an established trend, the lower the likelihood of a continuation. So when you see that the market has been trading sideways for a long period of time after a trending move, I would already be cautious. Here we are now seeing a breakout, a continuation breakout in this trending market. However, what you will see shortly after is that you see a huge increase in volatility. Volatility refers to the fluctuation of price movements. What you can see here is long candlesticks and also, very important, very long candlestick wicks to both sides. This is an increase in volatility. And we also see an immediate and a strong rejection after the breakout. You can see the market has only 2 red candles after the breakout, followed by a very strong rejection here back above the support area. Taking all of this into context, the trending move with a long consolidation, the short-lived breakout with a strong rejection, the increase in volatility, and the sudden appearance of bullish momentum, this makes for a great failed breakout move. There might not be anything wrong with jumping on the breakout, and that's totally fine. But if you're trading the breakout and then you realize that this looks more like a fake out, take the loss, close your trade, let the market hit your stop loss, don't delay the stop taking, and then think about reversing your trading position. And you can see this is the failed breakout down here, and the market afterwards started trading with much less volatility to the upside. So even if you take a small loss here to the downside at the breakout, you will be able to more than recover and recoup your initial loss by anticipating the new trend that is then emerging. Next, let's talk about liquidity spikes. And this is a very important quote. Volatility is greatest at turning points. If you've been trading for a while, you've probably heard this quote before. It's very important. So let's take a look at what we see here. We have a downtrending move and the market is coming back into a very strong level. This is a turning point. The market has moved into this level and then a strong uptrend has reversed. And those areas are always important to mark on your chart. The market is now coming back into the level, and one of the most important takeaways and most important tips that I can give you here is that you never trade a level blindly. A lot of amateur traders make the mistake of drawing horizontal support and resistance, supply and demand, looking at round numbers, and then as soon as the market hits such a level, they will get into a trade. This is very wrong, and also it's going to lead to very bad trading outcomes. You have to observe the price action and the reaction around such levels first before jumping into a trade. This is really important, and a lot of amateur traders make this mistake. What we see now is we see a small reaction. This is pretty meaningless. It is a reaction that it's probably going to lure in a lot of traders. Many traders who missed maybe the initial uptrending move want to participate in what might come next, and they believe that they need to get in before a signal is given. But this is not telling us anything. It's neither a bullish nor a bearish sign. This is a neutral signal. So at this point, still the market is at the level, but we don't have a signal. We have no reaction, no pattern, nothing we can trade. This is not a bullish sign. A bullish sign usually has a breakout here at some point. A bearish sign has a much stronger reaction here. However, now it changes significantly, and we have a volatility rejection. What did I say? Volatility is greatest at turning points. And now we see a huge increase in volatility. We probably see a lot of trapped traders. A lot of traders will have stops and orders around the previous high here, around this previous level. And this is why you often see those increases in liquidity. There's a lot of trading going on, a lot of trading interest. And when you see a volatility rejection, that can often pinpoint and highlight important areas where you want to think about getting into a trade. At this point, it doesn't look like a good buy opportunity anymore. The market seems to have failed trading above this area, And when the market poked above this level, it got rejected. So there's a lot of selling interest here at the highs. And then the market collapses and moves lower. If you see such a volatility rejection, what you could do, this is now the 1 hour time frame, you could go to the 5-minute or the 15-minute and look for micro patterns, micro clues. You might be able to find here a breakout out of this area and then trade the next coming collapse here to the downside. This is a very, very powerful reaction and a very powerful concept. So I would recommend that if you draw your levels, wait for those increases in volatility and then try to participate. Don't try to predict and don't try to just blindly trade a level. The momentum buildup is another important concept. And here we want to ask, how is the price trading into levels? So what we see here is that the market is coming back into this supply zone. This is a classic supply zone where the market broke out and moved lower from in a very significant way. I made many videos on my YouTube channel about supply and demand zones and how to draw them. So the market is coming back into the level, but we don't have a strong rejection. Again, this is neither bullish nor bearish. And just because the market is reaching a supply zone doesn't mean that you should automatically get into a trade. We have to observe and wait for more context. What do we see now is that the market is giving us higher lows, and this shows us a lot of bullish pressure. Some traders on the lower time frame, again, this is the 1 hour, on the lower time frame, you might have been able to trade those small moves, maybe on the 5-minute or 15-minute to the downside. However, on the higher time frame, on the 1 hour, this is obviously not enough here to participate and realize great winning trades. However, what we see now, and we want to analyze the breakout potential. What we see now is that the market is making higher lows. Each low is higher than the one before. And this is what we call the momentum buildup. There's a lot of pressure and momentum building here underneath the level. Whereas previously the market moved into the level, sold off, moved into the level, sold off stronger. Now the market came back to the level and sold off less strong. And here even more, the effect is even more pronounced. The market moved into the level and then sold off only a little bit. This is pointing to a lot of bullish pressure that is building here underneath the supply area. You would expect a lot of selling interest here in this supply area. But as the supply and as the selling interest is waning and becoming less and less of an effect, that could point towards a potential bullish breakout. And this is what we are seeing shortly afterwards. The breakout is happening here. The bearish interest has been completely pushed out. There are no more bears left. The buyers are taking over. The supposedly strong supply area is breaking, which is a great signal because it shows us that there is not a lot of selling interest here anymore in this zone. We also have the round number that the market is able to get above. And that is then often a great way to look for continuations into the new uptrending market. So it's a continuation here through a strong supply area where the selling interest has been pushed out, has been consumed, and then only the bulls remain. Let's talk about exhaustion, follow-up, and we're looking here how breakouts fail and follow up with momentum. So we have a strong support area. This has been a turning point in the past. The market sold off from this. The market is coming back into this. Here probably a lot of breakout traders are getting into this. There's nothing wrong with trading a breakout here if this is your strategy. However, if you see that signs and the market is changing and the underlying bias is changing, and when you are in a long trade and then the buying side is showing weakness, such as here, the market pushed higher strongly, moved lower quite a lot, then pushed higher, but fails to take out the high and immediately gets rejected with a lot of selling volatility into the opposite direction, that's a clear sign that the bullishness is not as strong as you probably believed initially. What we see then further is that the bearishness is really taking over. We see suddenly strong signs and strong selling periods. This is nothing we have observed in the past when we look at this recent uptrend. Here we can see that the bearish phases are really increasing in size. We have lots of strong selling candles. Probably many traders who participated here in the uptrend are now taking profits, which is contributing to the bearish pressure, and also new bears are entering the market as the market is high enough to become lucrative again for sellers. We are falling back below the previous breakout area. We have the fake out here on the higher highs, very weak highs, and then we have the lower highs confirming here with a change of character as the market is breaking lows. And this is now also a great sign for a reversal. What we see then afterwards is a break and retest. We're retesting the previous area here, the previous pattern lows. This is here the support level on the fake out pattern. We retested. Some traders on the lower time frames after the strong breakout here might have been able to participate in this move. Then you get a second chance here. The market is coming into the level, retesting it from underneath as resistance, and then you might get a second chance here to participate in the next down leg. So it's really important to observe the price action around breakouts and see, do you see an increase in size? Is the strength, is it fading? Do you see exhaustion building here after a breakout? And that can help you understand breakouts and also fake outs in a much better way. And also, it's really important to know when not to trade. A lot of traders are always waiting and looking for signals for the next trade. They always want to get into a trade, but it's even more important to know when not to trade. And when we look at levels, there's often a time in a period where there's a lot of volatility and the market is becoming unreadable. So let's take a look at this area. This is a very, very strong level, very strong resistance. The market has used it many times in the past to sell off. And then the market is trading around this. This is a very unclear price action. We don't want to get involved into this price action. You may have traded the initial breakout. Maybe you have been taken out here, or you cut the trade because the market didn't go anywhere. And then you see a sideways phase with a lot of volatility and without direction. This is an unclear price action. And in my traders, the one that I mentor, I often tell them that there are phases where not to trade. And when we look at price charts, I always also point out where you don't want to trade. And you don't want to trade in those ranges. There's no money to be made. You will just get chopped around. This will be very, very hard to participate in. And you will most likely be very frustrated and trade emotionally. You need to wait until the dust is settling, until the price action is becoming clearer. Until this is the noisy range. This range we're looking at here is here. We have another breakout. We retest the previous resistance as support. We build another very tight range. And then you get the breakout. And there's nothing wrong with trading those breakouts. If there's a breakout and this is your strategy, you might be able to get in. But as soon as you see that the market is winding down here in this sideways, narrow sideways range, I would recommend to get out of those trades, to minimize your downside. At this point, it becomes unpredictable, and also it's very, very volatile. So you want to wait for the market to give you another breakout signal. And then when the breakout is leading into a trend, that's where you have a much, much better edge. So make sure that you also understand when not to trade. Of course, it's important to know your signals and know when to trade. But in my experience and having worked with traders for so many years, it is even more important to know when not to trade, so that you can protect your downside. And then when the good trades come around, then you're able to participate and maximize your upside.